to go. Let's kick off the mental health workshop with Kayla and clarifications. Claire, you want to go ahead and kick us off here? We are live. Oh, I can't hear you though. Let's get that unmuted.
You found it.
Good to go. There we go. Woo! Welcome,
Hey,
Samantha. Low Fire.
Everyone. Good afternoon. Hey, Kayla. Thank you for joining us with your beautiful presence. Hey, Clava. Hey, everyone. New people. Jim at the Triva. Ethan. Hey, Ethan. Hey, everybody. Well, anyways, we have Miss Kayla Harvey here. She is the breathologist, and she teaches us, shows us, demonstrates, and we interact how to use the breath, the posture, to breathe, to help us to think, to be calmer, to process information, and just be mindful of what's going on around us. So every time we have Kayla here, she always brings us something extra spectacular. And I really love her. She's awesome. She's got a retreat, she's got a book, she's got a page, she's got a, just check her out. So everyone,
we'll drop some links
enjoy.
in chat.
Thank you, Kayla. I'm gonna mute. If I have a question, I'll chime in.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Claire. You're awesome. I can always count on you. And I'm just gonna make a request for us to lower the music down just a little bit. Definitely my jam. I feel like it's loud. But...
You want me to lower the music a bit?
Yes.
Okay, we changed something in your audio that's making it a little bit quieter.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Maybe go change that noise suppression back off then, if that was what you had off before. I'll change the music here for you. Volume. Set it to 15. That better?
A little lower.
Okay.
10.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Well, hey everyone. Welcome. If you're new to the space, my name is Kayla Harley, like the motorcycle, but I go by Kayla Natural B, and I'm the founder of the BeeBodi marketplace. My work as a mindfulness coach, as a optimal breathologist, as a number of things in the wellness and mindfulness arena is more than just about feeling good. Yes, we all deserve to feel good because when you feel good, you're preserved. And when you're preserved, you show up as your best self in your workspace and you provide quality and you're able to be more focused, more clear, and productive. But my work is really about transformation because when you really know how to apply mindfulness tools and applications, your lifestyle changes, your habits changes, your outlook, your output, all of these things changes, and it's very natural and organic. So thank you for allowing me to be in this space to share with you today. Today is a little bit different. Typically, I would offer a lecture and I would have maybe a visual. The last time we were together, we actually went through the chronological death of breath and why and how, rather, from the time of inception and birth through adolescence and adulthood to becoming a senior and then ultimately the human point of transitioning, how we tend to lose our breathing and how we tend to lose the prioritization of breath. But today I just want us to do breathing together, and I want us to do a stretch right here at our chairs. And then I want to actually have this to be open dialogue and an open forum about one aspect of health and wellness that we probably don't think about as much. All right, so wherever you are in your seat, I encourage you to find if you can, an upright posture. So it always helps for you to come to the edge of your seat where you can plant your feet onto the floor, the ground, the surface, in your shoe, in that sock, wherever in your space, and then just rock side to side so you're sitting directly on top of your sits bones. Sitting directly on top of your sits bones here, I'm going to invite you to turn the palms down and place them on top of your knees. Here, just allow gravity to do its thing. Invite the heaviness and the weight of your bones, of your shoulders to just hang. Yeah. Allow everything to just be natural and normal. But I invite you to have a sense of elevation in your spine. Take your right hand, and that was on the knee. You're going to place it up right here at just below your belly button. You can't see it, but yeah, so it looks like this, but at your belly button. And the other hand is going to be right here at the sternum and chest level. And just relax the gaze. You know, you don't have to look at me or look at anything in particular. Just kind of follow my voice here. And I want you to press down into the feet. And as you press down, feel a sense of elevation and rise in your spine from your sits bones all the way to the crown of your head, the space above. And then relax that. Let go of the pressure. And do that again. Press the feet down into the floor and start to elevate and rise in the spine, sitting up nice and tall. And even notice your chin. Is your chin dropping? Lift the chin up a little higher here. And then take a deep inhale. Relax the jaw and exhale out of the mouth. So we'll inhale for 3 and we'll exhale for 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale out of the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, swelling, growing. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, bring the hands together as you exhale out of the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do a little Tai Chi here. Inhale, open the palms. 2, as you feel the breath up. 3. Exhale, close the palms. 4. Last time again. 1. Fill up. 2. Elevate. 3. Exhale, release, relax, let go. 2, 3, 4. Hands together, flip the palms. Palms together, elbows outside, side to side. Relax those shoulders once again. And then we're going to just do this little switcheroo. Palms still connected. With the right palm, push the left hand across the body as you turn to the side, towards the left. Inhale, exhale, and then switch, push to the other side, opening up the back, opening up the underarms, opening up the shoulder girdle. Again, inhale, exhale, push. Feel that twist and spiral in your spine. Little desktop stretch here, last side. Inhale, exhale, push. Excellent. Open the arms out and just kind of hang like you're almost like in one of those gallows. Yeah, gallows. Bring the elbows up high, and then kind of just opening up the shoulders. Reach to the side. Inhale. Opening up the side body, the rib cage. Good. Tell them it's Halloween. You're doing like a Halloween thing, so they don't think you're doing you're strange. Good. Take the right hand down to the thigh. Reach the left hand up above the head. And breathe. Inhale. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3. 4. Again. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Switch. Left hand down to the thigh. Stretch it over. This is that yawn that you couldn't get because you were in the car. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. If you can, it's accessible to you. just grab your wrists. And you can do this if you don't want to be invasive to your environment. You can keep this at sternum level. But if you're at home and you really can, bring it up over your head here, and then just pull the wrist.
You know Steven's not doing this because he's at Starbucks.
And then just pull the wrist in either direction. And with this, you just close your eyes here if you can. I want you to feel how this affects your wingspan, your shoulder blades. Keep the breath going, expanding the lungs. Exhale, deflating the lungs. Inhale, expanding the lungs.
Kayla.
Exhale, release. Good. Very last thing, interlace the fingertips and wrestle. Wrestle the tension out of your wrist. Wrestle the tension out of those pockets that are usually stuck, tense, tight. Go the other direction. Good. And then pull the fingertips. They can either be like this or like this, whichever you choose, but pull the fingertips. And then again, go back to those shoulders, press the shoulders down. The breath is an indication that we're moving, but we're also circulating blood. Good, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling until the fingertips slide, 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 and let go. Wiggle the fingertips, get that texting energy going. See where the delay is, circle around the thumbs, go the other way. Good, hide the thumbs, squeeze the thumbs. And release. All right, how's everybody doing?
You're awesome, Kayla. I have a
Good.
question. I felt a lot of benefit from every move.
Great.
Question.
Yes.
I breathe in too fast. Like I can't breathe in for the whole 3 seconds. Am I breathing too fast or I need to breathe slower?
It comes with practice. So I like to use this analogy of this inhale, exhale, because when you have something to gauge or like a measurement, it gives you focus and attention on your breathing. A lot of us are shallow breathers, whether as a defense mechanism because we have to spitfire and talk and respond all the time. It could be the environment, metropolitan areas. People tend to be shallow breathers because there's a lot of pollution in the air, right? It's a stark difference when you're in the islands on vacation or when you're in Colorado up in the mountains going for a hike. So you really do have to be more intentional when you are breathing to give yourself permission to breathe slower and fuller. So just next time, maybe think of like a vase or a valve, and you want to fill that valve up in the way that you would with water, but with your breath. So you're inhaling, and then you're exhaling. So that's a thought. The second thought is that you could be taking in too much air right away. So I always tell people, like with coffee, if your coffee's hot, you're not gonna throw it back. You're gonna sip it. So with your breath, you have to, I like to say, sip air in like tea. So you have to progressively take that inhale and then gingerly release that exhale, right? So that's a good question, Clara. That's a good question. So I want today to be an open forum. And like I said, usually I give a lecture, but today I want to hear from you all. What begs the question? We talk about mindfulness and breathing and stretching and moving. We don't typically, workplace is not the environment that we would think to do those things. So why is that? In the way that
On the
you
chat,
are?
if you actually click that little chat button in the upper right side, you can see a few comments. Samantha said, I feel much more energized now. Same for sure. Catching myself breathing a lot and very shallow. With practice, I'm doing a lot more mindful breathing.
She says, I need that mug. That's funny. Yes. Yeah. So, you come into certain settings. You come in, whether you're working digitally and you're at home and you're just trying to put yourself in a work mode, or maybe you're in another space or an office. No one wants to feel like they're being strange or different or invasive to what the culture is. But that's actually what we need more. So that's why I love breathing, because breathing it's innate. We cannot live without breathing. And but it's also not invasive. You can breathe deeply for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and no one know what you're up to, and it can change your sphere.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Good
So
point. I'm clipping that. Good point.
absolutely. And then who doesn't need a good yawn stretch every now and then? I know no one likes to show their armpit stains. I get it. The sweat stains, or if you're in a suit or what have you, I get it. But we do have to invite movement into our body. So even if that's getting up and moving away from your desk or going to take a walk, every now and then, just, sometimes I'll use the wall. Um, sometimes I'll just use the wall. I'll just cross my left hand over in front of me, and then the right hand will be down on the lower part of the wall, and I just twist. And I switch. And just twitch. Twist. If I'm on the plane, place your hand on the top of the chair. Give yourself a twist. If I'm on my way to a conference or something, step in front of yourself, give yourself a lunge. These things are natural, and I tell you, it never fails when I'm traveling, y'all, and I start stretching. I go into full out stretch mode. I don't care, but it never fails. When I start doing that, I see people moving their arms. Then people start stretching. Sometimes somebody a subject, to be inspiration for us to move. But I want to invite you today to give yourself permission to do that, because it's necessary and it's natural. So, yeah.
That's it.
Be the inspiration to those around you. Yeah, BU said, be an example at the office. You may open the door for others to not feel embarrassed stretching and breathing at work. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll oftentimes when I'm streaming just be like, all right, guys, everybody take a minute and stretch, get some water. And that's a big part of like the responsible content creators program that BU and I and some other people have been working on, is encouraging people to encourage their followers, their audience, to do that too. Because if people are looking up to you, Kayla, you've got a TikTok and a bunch of social media, and you share really helpful advice on those. So you being that example of, hey, I do this regularly, I practice these healthy habits. That's really crucial to spread that kind of environment, to create that kind of environment and atmosphere in your community.
Absolutely. I love the sense of accountability that you just spoke about with that, because, and I'm going to read some of the comments in the chat after I make this statement, but the accountability is key, because I just learned yesterday that with the shift in terms of education for kids, where everything is virtual, almost everything, their homework is due within 24 hours. So if they're doing activities, extracurricular, they're doing all these other things, transportation from school to home, etc., they have a demand to perform and submit their homework within a certain time that I think is actually quite inhumane. And so when we think about culturally moving into a more digital spaces that place a demand on our lives to be focused, to be present, to be here, how do we insert humanity back into that, no matter what? Because at the end of the day, nothing gets done unless we do it. But it's
Hmm.
not in just the doing, it's in how. Everyone wants quality, they want the best because you are in representation of first yourself and then maybe the brand or the company and then et cetera, et cetera. So, how can you bring quality? How can productivity continue to be something that's consistent in your life? Taking breaks, being intentional about your health and wellness. It's an absolute. It's a non-negotiable.
Hmm.
So I'm here today to be that accountability partner for you and to tell you that you deserve it and you have to give yourself permission. And the more you speak up about it, because it's being talked about on LinkedIn, it's being talked about in
Hmm.
webinars, in conferences. It is being talked about. As we move into Web3, etc. Please keep bringing this up.
Yeah.
You all are here because this is interesting to you and you felt connected to this content. The more you bring it up, the more people will echo that and say, yes, that's my experience also. Yes, I agree with that. I
Mm.
think my company has um, a mindfulness or wellness program, but they don't really tell us much about it. Could you tell me more about it? Or if you are in a seat or a position of influence where you could actually create that, then I encourage you to.
Yeah.
The second thing about culture is not only digital culture, it's actual culture. If you look at China, Japan, Korea, etc., you're going to see people doing Tai Chi. You're going to see people actually standing up and stretching. If you go to Europe, they have something in Sweden called fika, where you can actually designate time away from work to go meet up with a friend for coffee. Businesses close down between 1 to 3 for lunch so that people can go and walk and
Hmm.
go and have coffee or go and take a nap or do whatever they desire to do. So,
Hmm.
we have to be radical about our self care as
Hmm.
Americans by speaking up. They say that, we're the land of the free. We have to exercise that freedom, not only freedom of speech, but freedom in action. So if I could submit that for your consideration. All right.
Yeah,
Those
BU
three.
said India, the midday nap time. I don't know. Is it something about the U.S. culture that just is like work, work, work? Maybe it's the consumerism.
Listen. In España, siestas are real. Like I learned about them in elementary school. Like they have their most of the houses are built with room darkening blinds on the outside.
My kind of
Okay.
room.
So, and in France, I don't know about other East European countries, but August is like the whole month is like holiday. It's like vacation. Like you're not. Yeah, I think Spain too. Like most of Europe, they don't be playing about that crap, and they don't. When you ask them what do they do, they'll tell you about their family. They'll tell you about an instrument. They'll tell you about some place they've been. They don't tell you about their work. Their work is just somewhere for them to have the money to do all these things. Whereas Americans, we're so, well, what do you do? What's your title? What are you driving? So, but look, I'm gonna give y'all a quick break. This is where I get to spend my days
Wow, look at all
now.
those rugs.
This is my new home during the
Do you just take a
day.
nap on those rugs sometimes?
If I thought I could get away with it, I would.
They look
But
comfy.
yeah, no, I'm
You
so
gotta tell
happy to
them,
be
this is my
here.
siesta time.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I worked
Well,
for a
you're
scribe.
you
I worked for a
you
medical.
are you. We are encroaching on siesta time, actually.
Exactly. I worked for a medical
But I
doctor for a
apologize. I just
while,
wanted to.
and they
Okay.
didn't. They worked straight through lunch. It was ridiculous, and the demand was like people expected that. Like your doctor's behind. They always get behind. There's something can't predict, and people would just expect, oh well, it's my appointment was at 12. I should be being seen right now. So they don't take a break. They just work right through lunch most of the time. And as a scribe, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm doing all the heavy typing and stuff. Like I need a break. So I would just be like, all right, you got to see the next one yourself. I'd lay down on the floor, take a nap for 30 minutes. I was like, I'm pretty sure you're violating some sort of workers code by not giving me a lunch break. So I'm gonna take a little 30-minute nap, and I would just sleep on the floor in the office. And I mean, yeah, people would walk in and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm
Yeah, our
re-energizing.
culture here is not, it's, you have to be purposeful about
Yeah.
self-care. It's not built in. It's not built in.
You said I'd nap on the couch when I was working in India studio. I don't know how coworkers felt, but I got so sleepy if I'm placed in a work environment. I know at home I can work through the whole day fine. I mean, sometimes I take naps too if I feel I need it. But if I'm working like in a corporate setting or in a work environment, I'm like, especially if it's repetitive tasks, I get very sleepy.
Mm, yeah, yeah, all the things. And it's really great to have some male representation here too, because I know that there's a lot of information on self care that probably seems like it only caters to women or to mothers who are tired and overworked, etc. But I'm curious, guys, what are some of your go to self care things that work for you that make you feel that like, oh, I just took a breath of fresh air. I feel refreshed. What's refreshing for you?
Good pedicure.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I'm kidding. I have gotten a pedicure before and a manicure before. But that, I mean, I don't do that regularly enough to say it's my refreshing go-to. I'd say running, or I'll go into like a deep state of meditation in my bed with a heat pack for my shoulders, and like taking away the shoulder pain and just laying flat. Um, just sometimes I'll play some music or something or a meditation. That really, really, really does a lot. I can have a terrible day, go do that for 30 minutes, boom, come back and be fine. A shower, Clava said, kid time. Also, playing with Octavia.
Nice.
I
Steven?
don't have any.
Wait, Clara. I want to hear from the guys first.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, he said
Steve?
a shower and kid time. I agree with both of those too.
Yes, absolutely. Kids are, well, they have the energy. Like, I guess when you come home and you feel like, what just happened? And then the kid's like, ah!
Or every time I go downstairs. I'm beginning to understand why Clava always goes out to work somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, and I also want to submit this for your consideration as well. I know, again, looking at American culture, because we've been talking about what does American culture have to say about how we are essentially becoming workhorses. I mean, if I can just chime on that, that's actually glorified to be a workhorse. Like, yeah, I did this, and this. I got a medal for this, and this. But they never talk to you about the internal battles and the internal
Right.
struggles that go on, and not everyone wins that way, and not everyone sees that as winning. Um, but as we look at that, I have to also submit to you that yoga is not the gym. Yoga is not the gym. Yoga is not fitness. Yoga is not there supposed to help you lose weight. Yoga actually was started by men. The original yogis were men. Just like, I'm an artist, so I can say that Shakespeare, classical dance, classical performance, etc., all of these things used to be dominated by men. Men would actually wear, for instance, the wigs and the heels to portray women, but they dominated the industry. So, yogis, those were men as well. So I know maybe it feels like, oh, that's feminine, or my body doesn't do that, etc. But that's far from the truth.
Oh,
It's far.
again, I think that's Western culture. It's like culturally appropriated for the macho man portrayed in Hollywood, and I think Hollywood's a lot responsible for some of this education through entertainment, like TV always portraying the dad as this bumbling idiot who just watches football and barbecues. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I do like to barbecue. It's beside the point.
Oh no,
I think every man should master his mind first, and yoga is just one way. I mean, meditation, prayer, uh, religion, spirituality, all these things are exercising control over your mind and your emotions, which does not replace the physical element. And I believe the physical element actually, in some cases, comes first. Maybe in every case, because you have to have that ability to sit down and focus on the mind. And if you're in pain or you have too much energy or you haven't exercised or done things for your body, you're not really going to have that self-control to sit down and think about the deeper meaning behind life, behind, all these other things that matter. And exercising, obviously you're going to be breathing. Then there's the intentionality of breath work that has big impact on your mind and your mental state.
Thank you for that. Yeah, Sam, Samantha, we'll do another breathing exercise before the day is through. So with that being said, um, I
Mm-hmm.
want to now shift into, now that we've talked about culture and we've talked about um, environment, and we've quite admittedly stated that self-care is for everyone and it feels good and it's necessary, etc. How, as your accountability partner today and guide, how are we going to do that moving forward? And you can chat, you can write that in the chat, or you can speak up and say whatever you like. I know, for instance, I've suggested to book yourself. That's actually my number one thing. Book yourself. The same way that you book your clients, meetings, calls, doctor's appointments, etc. Start booking yourself on your calendar for an hour as a non-negotiable. And what this does is it creates a space, even if you don't know what you're going to do. You don't have to know. Just put yourself on the calendar first. And then even if you have to sit with yourself for 30 minutes to an hour to figure out, well,
Right.
what do I want to do? What is going on with me? How do I feel? Do I feel like I need to invest in this? I'm not talking about investments. I mean, like, in terms of time,
Mm-hmm.
like, where am I?
Mm-hmm.
Self-assessment is huge. And I support therapy. I support counseling. I support all those things. I mean, BetterHelp, they man, they're everywhere on YouTube. I can't go anywhere without seeing a BetterHelp ad. But I'm a huge advocate for self-assessment. If you really just create the space that you need, you will be amazed as to what comes up. Um, and
True.
to just spend time with your own voice. So what else is coming up for you all? What would you suggest? How could you do that? How could you create space for yourself?
I think the scheduling and putting it on your calendar is very essential. Honestly, reminds me I need to have a section in there for exercise that I took off before. Wasn't working with the schedule, but that's probably why I haven't gotten it done over the last week. Been really bad about running and exercising, and then that trickles into like not being in control and sitting down and doing more of the meditation stuff. So they kind of go hand in hand. But Samantha said starting the day with these activities so I don't put it off and not do it. Yes, do something you have passion for often. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Samantha
Hmm.
said wake up 20 or 30 minutes early. Absolutely. Huge advocate for that. It is often said that I don't have the time for. Anytime that thought comes to your mind or you say that out loud, I want you to just observe that. I don't have the time for. Why don't you have the time for it? Did you not make the time for it? Or do you legitimately not have the time for it? And I say this to say, not to bash or criticize, because I know how demanding life can be. What needs to change so that you do have time for that? If it's recurring, it's coming up as something that's important to you, that's essential for your life and growth, and that's humane. What do you need to do to make the time for it? Something's got to give. A conversation needs to be had, or maybe a habit or behavior needs to change so that you're not saying yes to so many commitments and leaving room and space for yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. And, a 20 to 30-minute check in at the top of the day is the best thing that you could do for yourself before texts, before emails. Um, for my married folks on here, sometimes even before conversation with your partner. or shortly after. I don't know. Let me not come in between that, but shortly after, it's very easy to fall into routine. And so, okay, family, check, breakfast, check, transportation, check, and you've not checked in with yourself. And then all of a sudden, you're on Discord or you're at your appointment and you're like, man, I haven't had a moment for myself and it's 3 p.m. And then by 5, you know, it starts up again. All right, family, check, dinner, check, whatever, check. All these checks happen and then it's out of your control. So, yeah, that accountability and self assessment can happen when you book yourself. Hey, I've got a smartwatch. Do you? That thing goes on and on and on and on. If it's on, it's checking your breathing, your stress levels, all these things. It feels so good when I look down and at my watch and I see BeeBodi and I'm like, whew, I can breathe.
What's BeeBodi mean?
BeeBodi is me. That's my self check.
So it shows you like, hey, you are you.
I am me. That's my that's that's my passion project. When I see BeeBodi, that's my me time for 30 minutes. It's like, all right, tap out, do whatever you want, take a walk, sit and breathe, stretch. But it if I decide to take that time over into something else, I know that I have done that. But at least I have set that space for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we got Dave in here. What's up, Dave?
Hey there, Sam. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Kayla.
I'll share some of the clips from the session in a thread down there, nutrition and diet. I think I'm going to rename that category to nutrition and health, probably, or just health in general. But I want to start posting. Yeah, it was just a channel in here in this Discord where I can post all the clips from these sessions, so people want to go back and be like, get some of this in bite-sized, digestible form.
Oh, well, unless the other speakers are speaking to nutrition, I haven't much touched on that. So maybe health, wellness, and mindfulness.
Right, yeah, I'm going to rename that channel for sure. I have a sub-thread on mindfulness, so that's where I'm posting them.
But let's talk about nutrition while we're here.
Good point.
So this is another opportunity for you all to engage. Let me know what's going on. Chat me up. Shout it out. But what's new that I've implemented into my life's regimen is sea moss. Chondrus crispus sea moss. It is Irish purple sea moss. It has many benefits. Everything from great for your nervous system, your digestive tract, a bunch of things. For 4 weeks, I took 2 tablespoons of the gel at breakfast time and at dinner. And you're supposed to have it with tea or something warm to help it to stimulate and get the blood circulating and everything. My right eye. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a chronic pain warrior. And I deal with facial pain and neck spasticity and some really intense things that a lot of people usually don't survive without surgery. But my right eye has improved. My vision has improved. My dexterity and sense of just like awareness has improved since taking that. And why do I bring this up? Not only because nutrition came up as a topic, but it's very easy for us to get cerebral. It's very easy for us to just say an affirmation, but don't act on it. To say I want to live a healthier life, but don't live it. To say, I want to feel better, but don't take minerals and vitamins. Like, how does that work? We have bots, but we're not robots. The body needs that human experience. Just in the same way that we're breathing and we're stretching, the accountability has to be experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I've been looking at this sea moss. I've been wondering about it. Let me get into this. And when I finally became intentional about it, I kid you not, I was walking, this is how I found it. I was walking past a Walgreens or something. And at the end of the plaza, I saw this saw this place called Moss God. Moss God. And I was like, whoa, you gotta be like big time if you're calling yourself the Moss God. What? So it was awesome, y'all. They I got my supply of sea moss. Like I said, it really helped me with my eyesight and a lot of things. I found myself staying away from sugar.
That's a
Going
big
to
one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a big one.
It curbed my appetite from sugar. Like I didn't even have a desire because I was seeing the benefits. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I don't want to jeopardize this. I don't want the inflammation to come back. Let me just hang tight. And it was so dope. So you will see. So I want everybody to put in the chat, or you could speak up. What do you want to manifest or intentionalize in your life right now in terms of health, wellness, and mindfulness? Just say it.
I would like to get back on a better diet personally and have something on my schedule booked for exercise every day. I don't have a smartwatch, so I need to have something on my calendar. I'm just realizing this. I don't have a way to track it or a reminder or anything. It's just it's on my mind. Like I know I got to take time. So having a booking for me and then getting off the sugar again. I've gotten back on the sugar. My wife's been pregnant for 9 months. And there's been a lot of sugar coming in the door.
Woo!
I think I ate like 4 Reese's yesterday night, and I was like, what am I doing? It's going to feel terrible. Oh, yeah, the sugar. I was on the carnivore diet for a little bit, and the impact of it was very, very dramatic. If you ever wonder what is sugar doing to me, cut out all carbs. That's literally all the sugar. Everything that has carbs in it is broken down in some form to sugar. You get rid of all the carbs, just eat proteins, fats, stuff like that for even just a month. Incredible boost in your mood, like mental state.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Incredible destruction to your digestive system for a few days, but other than
I
that,
found my digestive system got better.
yeah.
All that sugar's no good for you. I used to get stomach aches and
Yeah. Well, I can do
Yeah.
both, but it's just like if you lose some of that the starchy or fibrous material that is carbohydrates, you can lose some. It'll just change. It doesn't necessarily get bad. It's a transition period. If you're,
no doubt.
I'm not advocating you go try the carnivore diet, but if you want to know what it's like to go without sugar and what we're talking about, like what is sugar doing to me, it's really poisonous to your mind to consume too much sugar. It should be something you use. The complex sugars should be used sparingly to give energy. But really, you can live off of so much else. You don't need sugar. Think about it. It's purely like sensational.
People get addicted.
It's not a terrible thing. Like enjoy life. Have something sweet. Have a dessert, but you got to really think about it in terms of limitations. Like maybe 1% of my diet or 1% of what I eat this week should be sugary. Sugar grows a lot of those bad microorganisms, and when the gut is overrun with them, they can crave it even more. Yeah, it's a good point, BeeBodi.
I mean, there's a big kind of health debate about whether it's better to eat more, I guess, kind of vegan or carnivore type of food. But I guess the carbohydrates from vegetables is usually okay because you get the fiber to process it, but it's always this hyper processed stuff that gets us all this yuck. So I'm curious, how do we? It seems like there's a lot of narratives around it. So I'm curious how even beyond us here, how do we properly promote factual health and mindfulness with eating? I know for me, mindful eating is something I struggle with.
Well, I mean, what you put into your body ends up affecting how your body feels, and your body and your mind are linked, right? And yeah, if your body doesn't feel good, your mind's not going to feel good, and it's just it's a feedback. It's a loop feedback system, right?
Yeah. People struggling with depression and their diet is just terrible. I'm like, first look at your diet, exercise. I mean, if you're eating sugar, if you're eating purely sugar, like some people I know, literally that's all they eat. Like in some form or another, they'll be like, oh, but I eat bread and I eat this and this. I'm like, that all just gets broken down to sugar. You're just eating
Yeah,
sugar.
bread's not fattening. There's no
Like,
fat in this.
I
Yeah.
don't know how anyone could live off that diet and not get depressed. Your mind's just going to be craving sugar. It's going to be going in these spirals as it goes up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Not to
Well, yeah,
mention the
it's a roller
diabetes
coaster.
risk.
It also, so I found, and I found the underlying cause of it, but when you eat sugar, your body injects, your pancreas releases insulin to blow back that sugar. So you're up on this high, and then you get crashed into this valley. And I used to shake, actually. Like my hands would tremor, and I would be like, so I would eat a bowl of cereal for breakfast, and by 11:30 I was like shaking and ready to rip someone's head off. Yeah, and I was hangry, you know. And I found out that it becomes worse. It turns into type 2 diabetes when your body becomes insulin resistant. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when you're kind of screwed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, basically you're wearing down that organism so it can't produce what it needs. You're doing it over and over. It's like any other machine part if you're not treating it
And
right.
I think the receptors become less sensitive. It's just a whole bad thing. Yeah.
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 I mean, but you have to live, right? I mean, so what I do is I rather than eating a bowl of ice cream, I'll just take a couple spoonfuls, you know.
But you know what? You all are.
Yeah, I do that all day.
This is powerful, but you know, and so nutrition is loaded. But in the same way that you would eat a bowl of cereal and a bowl of ice cream, have you ever considered eating a bowl of kale? Like just whole foods. If you know,
Absolutely. So that's what I do now. Yeah. So now I'll eat meat and veggies. The carnivore diet. I used to tell people that I could drink bacon. They're like, you're going to get fat or you're going to have a heart attack. I could drink bacon grease and be healthier than, I mean, I know that's pushing it, but yeah. So now for me, it's like veggies and meats, and a little carbs because I do like them. I mean, I just do like them. I mean, it's hard to never eat spaghetti or rice or mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love mac and cheese?
Oh, I love mac and cheese. But
You
that's
get
the hard,
gluten-free
that's
mac
the
and
hard
cheese.
part. That's like the real hard part here is because we always like know in a polarized way that healthiness is there's like an extremity of like, okay, like ultra discipline of, paleo, keto, or as Dave mentioned, but in reality, there's a balance to it. So it's always like we're striving for the ideal polarity, but in reality, or more pragmatically, we know that, we're influenced by our environment around us, our family, or, like for me, it's like I'm not going to tell my grandma and my mom I'm not going to eat their food because of, stuff.
I do that all the time, but I'm actually, gluten intolerant or sensitive, so I can say that. I have an excuse.
Well, I'm Hispanic, so it's like a cardinal sin not to eat like that.
Right.
yeah. So what we're talking about is making impact on culture. Earlier it was digital culture, and then it was examining American culture, and now we're talking about social media culture that ultimately makes not only impact on us because we want to live an optimal life and show up as our best quality selves, but living as an example. It was tough to transition into organic eating and living, etc. When I came back from college in California, being from the East Coast, it was pizza, burgers, chicken, everything. And I have a high metabolism. I'm an athlete, so what can you say to me? But then being exposed to whole foods and foods that grow from the ground and not foods that just appear on a shelf. That was eye-opening to then introduce that in relationship to my family because I became gravely concerned about, okay, Mom, you're 55 plus. I want you to live healthy and I want you to live long and strong. What can we do together? How can we build relationship together so that when I'm in your presence, we can enjoy and you don't feel judged by me or judged by this transition, but you feel included because this is also going to benefit you. So it's not an overnight thing. Even if it's with maybe family or your partner or your kids, it's about building relationship to create lifestyle, never to be perfect, but really to evolve for the sake of sustainability of the lifestyle. because it depends, so much depends on you showing up in that way. It's just, it really becomes essential. It becomes so essential, um, in that way. But yeah, everything, it's really intuitive too. When you start to listen to the body, which brings me to bodily intelligence. As I was saying earlier, we get really in the head. It gets about cerebral, like, yeah, I want this, and I idealize that. But if we don't put the footing to the intention, then it always stops at intention. We can get really trendy with these things, like, yeah, I got to be intentional about it. You can be intentional all you want. That's a thought. But what are you acting on? How are you living out that intention, that thought, and manifesting and realizing it to support your lifestyle so you can be sustainable and it is evident? So embracing that bodily intelligence when your body is saying, all right, enough, or okay, this is what you're going to get, and do that. Keep listening and keep honoring. Listen and honor. Listen and honor. And you will see the transformation very organically. You'll see it.
That's a
So
really good point.
with it's pretty hard when it's like putting, it's synchronizing happiness and health, or wellness and health. And like, I'll add kind of this Spanish cultural joke about it that my dad told me when I was a kid. And it was, it's a Spanish guy. He goes to the doctor and he says, "Doctor, how do I live long, healthy, and like grow super old?" And the doctor goes, "Well, don't smoke, don't drink, don't eat junk food, and that'll do it." And then the patient goes, "Really? That's all I have to do, and I'll live longer?" He's like, "I don't know exactly, but it'll sure feel like it." So it's kind of like talking about, like, you don't enjoy, being so strict on stuff, at least in like the Spanish Mediterranean way of life. So I
Yeah,
just kind of wanted to add that color.
yeah,
That sounds like a
yeah.
joke my dad would tell at the dinner table to Balo. I mean, but it does come with the point, that there's an element where you can go to an extreme and it actually be detrimental to you in the long run if you're not enjoying your life and you're not able to enjoy it because, say, you're just like eating water and kale every
Yeah,
day for every meal. Like, that's probably not going to be very enjoyable, and ultimately these things can have harmful side effects if not balanced. Like, if you were to eat bacon grease every day, it may not kill you, but over a year you're gonna have a lot of side effects from that. Like, you're not going to survive on bacon grease alone. Man does not live on bacon grease alone. I think we've proven that somewhere, somehow.
Sam, let me clarify. All I said was I could drink some bacon grease. I didn't say I was going to live on it.
Okay. Yeah,
But no, I understand.
no, but yeah, extrapolating from that, there's like we
Yeah,
talked about.
exactly.
So application, intentionality, and moderation. I think all three of those are key here to taking what we've learned, both the breathing, the posture, the stretching, the mindset, getting out of that macho man mentality. I know a lot of our viewers, maybe on Twitch or YouTube later, are men and women leading their own businesses. So these are practical ways that you can improve your own self-care. Scheduling yourself for exercise, analyzing your diet. What are you putting into your body? How intentional are you about taking time to breathe in the mornings? Are you reflecting on the day and taking that time? These are all really good points that Kayla's brought up, and I appreciate Kayla bringing these up for the Tribe of Business community, because we all need to be in that position of leadership for our own venture, our own startup. I mean, think about it. If you had a crash and if you fell apart, everything else would fall apart. You have to be in control of your own body. So this is all about being in control of your body and your mind.
Yep. Take that power back, y'all. Y'all got it.
Thanks,
Y'all got
Kayla.
it. Yes, my
I'm going to share
pleasure.
Kayla's links here to her TikTok and Instagram. Y'all can check it out and follow her. Hit her up if you have any questions. She does classes, and I think she wrote a book recently. She did write a book recently that's out. You should check it out on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
It is on Amazon.
Usually on Amazon now. Yes, it's called Everyday Wellness. What else? Gosh.
The Moss Gods.
Moss God. Yeah, check out Moss.
Not affiliated or anything, but
No, it's mossgod.com. I think he does take orders online. I mean, I always appreciate businesses that educate its consumers and doesn't just say, "Hey, this is popular, try it." He actually shows how he takes deep dives into the ocean, what his tactics are, what works, what doesn't work, and I've actually seen the differences in my body, in my life, and it's
interesting.
you gotta do it because I'm really tired of seeing. It's like
Uh-huh.
when the word cancer is like connected to everything. Like there's something for skin cancer, throat cancer, liver cancer.
Mhm.
Like where do all these different cancers come from? Cancer is an attack, but if you build up preventative shields to support what the body already has the ability to do, then the cancer cannot get in. But as we were talking about earlier, those sugar agents and all these kinds of things, it's an attack on your life.
It really is.
And so if you think about if you have a will to live, whether it's for yourself or for your dreams or for your loved ones, or just to see like if Elon Musk will actually build civilization on the moon, then you might want to get rid of some things and you might want to switch it out. So book some self time for you.
Mhm.
You know, dig deep, journal, ask questions, ask me questions, hit me up. I do help people devise health and wellness regimens for themselves and for their families. I'm a doula, so I'm great with kids as well.
Well,
Ah,
I will definitely be hitting you up about that because I could actually use some help with now I have 3 girls in the family. Little babies due November 1st. So I'm
yeah,
gonna I'm already like trying to figure out, education, exercise, diet stuff for Octavia. And I feel
right.
kind of underprepared for that all.
Last thing, last thing, and I swear I'm not plugging people like as if I'm a influencer. They ain't paying me for none of it. But Samantha keeps bringing up some good points about the gut health. Okay, so these are my favorite sodas. This is a ginger lime soda. It's a prebiotic soda. So essentially, it has good things and it's sweet. It's actually mad sweet, but naturally. And this is yeah, it's for your gut. And yeah,
Awesome.
I
Wait,
do
what is
have
the brand on these?
so this one is called Poppy.
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 Okay.
Delicious. It got watermelon, strawberry, orange, you name it. And it's like, oh, I'm drinking Fanta. Nope, you're drinking gut soda. It's really
Huh.
good.
Interesting. How much are those?
This was like $1.79. I know it looks like it costs $5, but it's not.
That's
Um,
pretty cool. That's pretty
yeah,
cool. What's
and
the
then
other one?
so this is kombucha. I think any kombucha is fine. I just like this brand because I like the
It looks
flavor.
colorful. Let's be honest, you liked the can.
um,
Aqua Vitae. Aqua
Apple
Vitae.
iced tea. This is a strawberry sage, and it was made in Vermont. What's it got in it? Kombucha, filtered water, black tea, green tea, strawberry juice, peppermint, and sage basil.
Very nice. I'm gonna get some kombucha. I could probably use some gut health stuff. Although since the gallbladder surgery, I've been doing a lot better. I've had like much less stomach pain. Yeah, I won't get into that, but it was messed up. Probably
Yeah.
for years.
Mm, wow. All right.
Anyways, I need to feed the Scoby? Oh, is that how you make kombucha? You make homemade kombucha? That's pretty cool. It's a living thing. Kind of like I'm assuming making bread. I've made bread before, so with the
Yeah.
yeast and starter, I don't even eat bread anymore. But it's like sourdough. Yeah, yeah, sourdough bread.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
it's
Pretty cool.
interesting.
All right, well, thanks,
Thank
Kayla.
you,
We're
Kayla. Thank you,
approaching an
Sam.
hour and 26 seconds, so this is honestly spot on. Thank you so much again for joining us. It's always a pleasure. I think everybody got a lot out of this. I've gotten a lot of great feedback already on the stream and the chat from people here. So we just really appreciate your time. We'll be sharing some of these clips with you as well for TikTok and social media. Hey, Dave.
Hey,
There you are. Thanks.
here I am. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen your face on camera.
Yeah.
Maybe I have. Maybe I have.
Sure. No.
I'm not as good
you
with
know,
faces as I am with voices.
Oh,
I've never seen you in person.
No, you've never seen me on camera?
Yeah, on camera, right? I've
Yeah,
always seen like your avatar, like
my
your-
avatar, yeah, I am like a wizard, yeah. A mage, yeah.
Oh,
Very cool.
okay.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna
Because I
wrap up the
manifest,
stream
so
here
it is, yeah.
because I just wanted to get it exactly at one hour.
Oh, okay. We'll let you know.
Well then, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll turn off so people can, yeah.
All right, guys.
can break the
Well, I'm just ending it
concentration.
on Twitch. We can all hang out in here. If you want to hang out with us, go to discord.gg/triba to be part of the premier Web3 business community. This is where we meet in a physical digital space, talk about stuff like this. We get into all sorts of topics from marketing to investing to health and wellness and productivity. And Kayla's just one of our feature speakers that we bring in. If you're interested in doing some sort of collab or feature, just join Discord and reach out to me. Otherwise, have a nice day. And be sure to check out Kayla on Instagram and TikTok.